Hello, beautiful people. Happy Easter weekend. Today is Saturday, and welcome to your practical application of astrology and my personal story share. Once again, let's see how things are gonna go because I think I'm going to do things a little bit differently once again. I got actually two channeled messages I want to share. One is a personal channeled message that I channeled for myself a few days ago, but I feel there is so much good in that message that it will actually help. Potentially it will be able to offer some help and guidance to other people too. And then I channeled another message just before recording this. I do have to say that my neighbors are knocking something, so if you can hear a background noise, unfortunately there is absolutely nothing I can do about it because this is Mexico and people do what they want when they want here, so that's out of my control, but I'll do my best. So yeah, what I'm going to say, I'm going to share a few bits and bobs that I've been experiencing, then I'm going to read the channel message because it's got to do with the stuff that I've been experiencing, and then like I said, I have another channeled message that I just wrote down prior to recording this. And then actually I would like to piggyback on the card that I pulled yesterday in my astrological forecast for next week. At the end I pulled a card from the energy oracle card deck from Sandra and Taylor, and there are a few things that came to me with regards to that, and also I saw what was at the bottom of the deck, which I didn't share because I already stopped recording, but it's actually very relevant, and that's why I want to come back to it. And also I have one more deck that I would like to pull a card from towards the end. So this is what's on menu. So if that excites you, then stay tuned in and see what comes out. And if not, then I hope that I'll see you in the next video perhaps. So anyway, guys, we are post lunar eclipse in Libra. As you know, I already posted million videos about, not quite million, but like 4 or 5, quite a few videos about that. So I'm not going to go into the nitty gritty of the astrology of it. And also I touched upon it again yesterday with regards to the astrological forecast because we are in between the two eclipses. But yeah, I'm sure that everybody has been experiencing the eclipse in one way or another because it was in Libra, so that involves our relationship. But this is not just relationship as your boyfriend or your mom or your best friend or your sister or whatever, because people always tend to look at Libra just as a human relationships, you know, the relationships we have within other humans and how they impact in us, and you know, like potentially how we impact in them, right? But actually Libra is your relationship to everything. It's your relationship to life because everything is relational, and everything that's happening around us is helping us to learn about ourselves, helping us to grow and evolve. So for me, as I already shared last week, which was that I couldn't really share very much because I was still processing things. This was a pattern that continued. So for the past 2-3 weeks, I've been re-experiencing the same pattern, the same issues with regards to the same things. And I was literally like, why is this happening? So one of them is my dentist. Like literally, I've been to dentist for 6 times already and things are not resolved yet fully. So I'm like, why is this happening? You know, like when can it be resolved? And I've been having problems purchasing some souvenirs and some t-shirts for my family, and there are some imperfection, there are some issues with that. And I again been back like 4 or 5 times already trying to exchange, and then they didn't have the right size, and then they had to order it, and they say come another day, and I did, and they didn't have it again because the supplier didn't turn up, like all these issues. And then alongside with all of that, it's like, okay, well, how am I going to self-soothe? So let's go and buy more earrings because I have a little bit of a thing for an earring. Let's go and buy another one and another one and another one. So anyway, so these been patterns that have been showing up for me personally. So the things I've been struggling with, and this is something that I have been observing about myself throughout my life, which is that this need for perfection, which is already something that I shared, that this is what most of us, well, I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of us are very familiar with. There is this need for perfection. Of course, this looks different for different people. For me, it's like I have a bit of an OCD, which again is the story, right? It's like, do I really have it, or is something that I decided to adopt, that this is my story, I have an OCD, things have to be just so, right? I have a very good pattern recognition, which makes me such a good astrologer because I see details. Unfortunately now, prior to Mercury retrogrades, I'm tripping over my own words, which is something that I noticed yesterday when I was listening to my own video, like, oh my god, not perfect at all, you know. If you haven't heard it yet, then you are going to like, what is she talking about, tripping over my own words, because we are pre-Mercury retrograde. Mercury station in retrograde on Monday, so I can definitely feel it already. So anyway, so there are these patterns that are showing up in my life where I want them to be perfect, and I want them to be finished, and I want them to be already off my list, like tick them off my list. That's why I'm also playing games with myself, not to check my emails when I cannot reply to them. So for example, I don't like checking my emails prior to doing my readings, because then I feel this pressure that I need to reply now, because I want to have it off my list, right? And then my soul sister has been doing inner child healing for me, a reading, and there was a card that came out from inner child healing oracle that she's been using to support this process, and I got the same card twice. The deck has 44 cards, and I got the same card twice, the same one, which said that it's never really end. It's never really over. And that was the thing, because I've been so resisting these patterns. I was like, I want things to be done already. I want this dentist to be finished. I don't want to have to keep coming back with more issues. I want the t-shirt to be exchanged. I don't want to have to keep going back. I want this to be closed chapter and all this, or like, oh my God, when am I going to finally get over myself and stop buying more earrings? Like, how many more earrings do I need to buy and stuff like that? So there are all these things which has been coming up for me, which are old patterns of this behavior that is like making me nothing is making me, but I've observed myself, this is taking me out of my balance, because now past 2 weeks, these 3 issues have been like taking a lot of my energy. Like they've been taking me out of my equilibrium, out of my balance. I've been going like a headless chicken, trying to resolve these problems, like going to places and wasting time over things that I don't normally spend my time doing. Normally I invest my time in different things. And then I get this card that, well, nothing is ever fully over, like there are always more things that needs to be resolved and healed. There will be always more emails, there will be always more issues with your dentist or whatever, like this is something that is a part of life, right? So I was trying to like figure out like, why is this happening, and why is this like why can't I get to the core of this, this stuff, why is it taking so much time and energy? And that's the thing, because I couldn't accept it. I just couldn't accept it. Even something that I've been struggling with, my number one issue that I've been struggling with every single trip in Mexico is the noise. But I mean, this is one of the noisiest countries in the world. So, I mean, what did I expect, right? And is this pushing against the flow, pushing against the water, like trying to get the things my way, trying to be in control. So with this full moon in Libra, because everything is relational, right? This is our relationship to life as humans, and it's just showing up in different ways. So I don't have people here, like my family is in Europe, in Slovakia, my friends are all over the world. I am currently single. So I don't actually have humans, like real people that would be showing me things. So actually there are people that are not playing like, a prime role in my life, like people in the shop or neighbors knocking the wall down or whatever, like, dentist, right? There are still people, there are still humans that are connecting me to my experience as a human, but they are not like close to me, but they still play a role. They are playing a role to show me these patterns that are now very outdated, because we can never really control life. We can never be fully done with anything. Even like I had a conversation with my neighbor, and I was saying like, oh my God, like there is so much healing going on, and that this is a continuous process, because the nodes are going to move into Virgo Pisces next year, more healing. And she said, how much more healing? And I'm like, well, it's never gonna end, because even if we as your this incarnation, this avatar that you are right now, even if you were to sort out all your problems, in one lifetime, which, I mean, I'm not saying it's not impossible, but even if you were, then the universe will give you more, because there is more collective trauma, there is more unresolved ancestor trauma, there is so much more, there is always more. So that's the thing. So, with that card that I received, it's never truly over, so don't try to, get this off your list and then thinking that, oh, I can just chill now. Which is like what I keep saying in my videos, right? Like all the time, that, well, we didn't come here just to chill on a beach and drink mojitos, but this is it. right? We need to learn to live with it. We need to learn to live with the imperfection. Well, I mean, I'm talking to myself here because this is obviously what I'm sharing with regards to my experience of the past 2-3 weeks. I need to learn to live with this and understand that, okay, well, this is unresolved. This is a work in progress. This is not kind of comfortable and stuff, but I still need to be able to keep going with my life without feeling out of balance, out of whack, completely like taken to the extreme because things are not my way. So this is what I mean. So this is how things been showing up for me, which of course in comparison with how this might have showed up for other people, it's like complete like nothing, right? People like my mother, she always used to invalidate my feelings, saying like, well, if I had your problems and prime minister's salary, I'll be a lucky woman, right? And I'm like, well, okay, well, everybody's problems look a little bit different, but whatever is your problem, and that's the one that you're dealing with, in which case that is the one that is big for you, right? So this is what I've been experiencing. So I mean, it could be completely small, miniature, mundane, inconsequential a problem to deal with, but it's about the energy, because it doesn't matter how it showed up. Like universe, as I keep sharing, universe every week presents me with a lesson. Obviously, I didn't manage to pass the lesson the first week I was experiencing it, so it got moved into the next week. And I didn't get to pass it the second week, so it got moved into the next week. And this is how it goes. Like literally, this has been something that's been going on for like over 2 weeks, at least 3 weeks now. But at the beginning it wasn't an issue, because it was like, yeah, you go to dentist first, second time, it's like, okay, well, this is to be expected, right? You go for checkup, then you go for whatever needs to be done, whatever. But then if it keeps going weeks over weeks over weeks and it's not getting resolved, that's when things are a little bit like, well, when is this going to like get resolved? When is this going to end? So that's the thing. This is what I've been observing, and I've been really sitting with myself and trying to get to the core of this, like, why can't I just get this done? And then, like I said, that card keeps coming up, which is like, well, you will be never done as a human. When we take it now to the higher perspective, like not just worried about dentists and earrings and t-shirts, but when we look at like a bigger, more major aspects of this interaction with human incarnation, it is never truly done. Because this is a school of life. We came here to learn. So that's what I mean. Even if you were to resolve whatever is going on in your life right now, it is guaranteed that as you keep going through life, while you're still here walking on planet Earth, there will be more things we'll have to deal with, more things we have to resolve. And it's not about trying to avoid them, because that's the thing, that sometimes we just like, and which is also part of this people pleasing, right, with the Libra, that we try to avoid conflict, so we just agree. So we just agree, we just go with whatever, whatever the other person says, whatever the other person suggests, we just go with it, because we don't want conflict. We want to avoid conflict, we want to avoid issues, so we just go with it. So we suppressed our needs or whatever, in order to not having to have to deal with it. And then usually what happens is that problem or that pattern or that energy will follow us throughout our life if we cannot stand up to it, which is what happened at the beginning of my stay in Mexico, when I had the first big challenge where I had to stand up to someone and put strong boundaries and actually stand up for myself, for my own inner child, because I was being talked to in a disrespectful manner, and because this is something that I had observed in my familiar environment, how my father talked to my mother, and it was like, well, this is how it is, this is how he is, this is normal for him. So there is that part of my subconsciousness which is like, well, this is normal, like men talk to women in a disrespectful way, they talk them down and whatever. And I'm not just saying women to men to women, it can work anyway, women to women, men to men, women to men, I'm not saying that this is like a unique just to women, but this is something I observed. So when I first came to Mexico, right the first month, there was a person being in this house who was very disrespectful. He was an older gentleman, well, not gentleman, but he was an older person. So, I guess, and again, this is not trying to objectify or put people in a groups. This was a unique person that thought that at his age he had the right to speak down to someone, talk down to someone who is much younger than him, and he was being very disrespectful. and I tried to cut him slack, and I didn't address it. It escalated, and then it got to the point where there were two incidents. One incident I just let slide because it was on a New Year's Day, and I thought like, okay, well, there was a lot of alcohol involved, so I'm like, there was an apology, so I was like, okay, I'll let it slide. The second time it happened, actually other people got involved, including the landlord, and then at the end the person was removed from the house because he was being literally violent. So anyway, so what I'm trying to say here, that this pattern kept escalating. It kept following me. This is just one of the examples where I didn't want to deal with it because I felt, this unhealed inner child wounding coming up, like, oh yeah, here is an adult, a male authority, just like when I was a child and my father, would treat us certain way, or whatever would take place, whatever conflict, and I was disempowered. I was a child. I couldn't exactly stand up to my father and say, you cannot talk to me this way, this is not okay, because I was a child, right? And now there was this pattern which brought these old emotions. I could literally see my stomach was like, like all in knots, and I could feel the same emotion like if I was again 5-year-old little girl and stuff. And then, like I said, the second time the situation happened in a very intense way, let's just say, I just didn't say nothing, and then actually there was something inside me that didn't let me to let it go anymore. And then I actually did stand up for myself, and I said that I don't appreciate the way you speaking to me. And then the whole hell broke loose, which got the person kicked out of the house. So at the end, that happened fairly early on in my stay here. And then for the rest of my stay here, things were quiet, things were great, because this person and their energy was removed. So that's what I mean. Universe will send us these people, circumstances, patterns, for us to look at. We have to look at them. We have to deal with them. Like when I was a child, this allowed me to survive. Because, otherwise I would get beaten black and blue, if I stood up to my dad every time he was being disrespectful when I was a kid. So, it helped me to survive, to be like meek and not to stand up for myself and all that. But now being an adult, I need to take care of me. I need to take care of my inner child. I need to be able to stand up for myself, because if I, I cannot expect the other person to treat me necessarily the way I want them to treat me, right? And this is what I also said yesterday in the video. People will always treat us the way we allow them. So it's my responsibility to define how do I deserve to be treated. So nobody's going to do it for me. I have to do it for myself. So this is what I mean. So this is one of the examples. And I've been observing it, like I keep sharing that every week there's been something. Sometimes it's something minor, sometimes it's something more persistent. And in this case, this is a pattern that has now been going on for 2-3 weeks. Like, especially it's been a big issue for 2 weeks. The prior, it was like, okay, it's a nuisance, but it's not an issue. Now it's starting to become an issue because it's been going on for too long and it's still not resolved. So this is where I'm like, okay, what is the universe trying to help me understand here? Because there is obviously something that I need to learn from this situation. And also like this overwhelm when I open my mailbox and there are all these emails, which is like I already shared many times, that I turned off all the notifications on my phone, all of them. But then of course the ego is like, well, let's go and check, and I know exactly what's gonna happen if I go and check. I get all stressed because I'm, oh my god, I have 5 emails or whatever, I need to respond now, so it's out of my list. So, and this is the thing, that we are learning to accept life for what it is. Doesn't mean everything is acceptable, but there are certain things we cannot change. So there are things that there is that serenity prayer, right? To be able to recognize what it is we can change what we can change, accept what we can't change, and, be able to recognize the difference between the two. I butchered it. I don't know exactly how it goes, but there is a serenity prayer, and it's something in this sense. So that's literally what it is. This is what's been going on in my mind, that I need to be able to discern, okay, is there something I can do about this situation? Like, for example, with that man, there is something I could have done, so I did it eventually after 2 months of struggling. But then there are situations which there is not much I can do. Like, like this thing with, they ran out of the size of the t-shirt. Okay, what can I do about it? Nothing. I just have to kind of live with it, or cut my losses and, just forget about it. Don't worry about it. So these are the things. So I feel right now life is showing us these well, I mean, Libra, full moon, lunar eclipse, of course. So things are becoming illuminated, what is out of balance or what has the ability to take us out of balance very quickly. And then I guess we have the opportunity to learn, right? To be able to discern that what out of this can I change, what I can't change, and then if I can't change it, can I accept it? Because if I can't change it and I can't accept it, then I'm pretty screwed, right? Because then it's taking the peace of my mind away for nothing, because I can't change it, right? So it's like, like currently with this, being war in the world. So people are like, losing their peace and their joy on daily basis because there is something happening in the world that they cannot do anything about. They cannot change it. They cannot go out there and stop it, right? Because it's not in our control. There are certain circumstances that are part of this stage of life. We all players on the stage here, and some people have a positive role to play and some people have a less challenging role to play, right? Even though we are a mixture of both, it's not just like clearly defined this way, but in a more linear way, like, okay, there are the goodies and then there are the baddies, right? So when we look at it like that, these people, the people that play the shadow role, they always have a role they also have a role to play, and they play it very well, right? They're like Oscar nominees, right? So they will create these situations to test us, right? To help us grow, to help us to become more resilient, to help us to love ourselves, to respect ourselves, to stand in our power, stuff like that, right? So if we look at the situation for what it is and just like reject it, and and we can't accept it, but we can't change it. We can't change it, like the war, like how can I personally go and stop it? Like, there are things that you can do and there are things you can't do, right? So then if there is something happening in your life, just like there is in mine right now, even though it's really like inconsequential and unimportant, but but still, it poked me where it hurts, even though it is not the actual situation, it's the energy, of course. If we can't change it, then what do? We need to accept, okay, there is a situation I can't change, but there is something I can change. And that is, of course, my response to it, or what is happening in my life that I actually have a control and power over, which is, like how I'm spending my time, my habits. Like, for example, with regards to this war, how much time am I spending to consume information that are connected to this? And how is this serving me? Is this helping me? Is it making a difference? What is it actually doing, right? So this is the thing. How much of my time am I wasting trying to resolve these things that has been going up for me? And how much of my time am I wasting just worrying about it? Because yes, there is the time when I spent going to the dentist and sitting in a dentist chair trying to have the problem resolved. And then there is all this other time when I'm just worrying about it and thinking about it and nothing is getting resolved because I'm in my room, right? So that's what I mean. So this, even though, 23 minutes I've been talking about the same nonsense, but this is how it's been showing up for me. So this is just, the pattern. But what is being the energy? So this is what I feel is happening for us now, because with the energy that is now coming through with this solar eclipse in Aries, and I mean, if you want to, I haven't made the solar eclipse in Aries video, but I made the video for next week, which there are some huge things happening with the Sun North Node conjunction. So if you would like to understand the energy of the eclipse, this video is going to understand what is going to lead to the eclipse, not the actual eclipse itself, but the preparation for it, because that's the build up for it, and it's the energy that's going to lead us to that new moon, which is a total solar eclipse. So this is what I mean. So right now we are in between two worlds, because the Libra eclipse was an illumination, something that happened in the past. It's connected to the South Node. Ruler Venus is still in Pisces. Even today, she's still in Pisces until the 4/4. So we have in the illumination of the past, all the past. So for me, okay, I don't have a husband, I don't have kids, I don't interact with neighborhoods because I keep moving all the time, I don't have a home, right? But then there are patterns in my life that are dysfunctional, that are to do with me. And these are the patterns that are showing up for me right now. For you is different patterns, something different, something that is to do with your life, that is showing you where things are either out of balance or how the external environment can take you out of balance. And then how quickly can you regain that balance? Or do you, or me, allow this external to take our peace away, and we just allow it, we just give it, right? So this is what's happening. So the first eclipse was the past eclipse. It's connected to the past. Now the eclipse that's coming next, that's the future. That everything is going to shift next week. Everything is shifting because of the North Node Sun conjunction. Everything is shifting. From next eclipse onwards, there will be a new phase conjunction. So this is very different energy. So we are now in between the two worlds. Literally, we are in between the two worlds, because there is a world that we are fully familiar with, and we can see the manifestation of and have the totality of understanding of the story, because we've lived that story. And then there is a world that we know nothing about. We just have a vision or feeling or idea, or tapping into the energy of what it potentially could represent, but we don't know what it is because it's not here yet. We can only see what already was. We don't see what hasn't been yet. We can only visualize it. This is where we can tune into our intuition and connect to our guidance and stuff like that, which is, again, part of that energy, that the only way we can actually find that peace is within. The only way we can create that which we want is from within. So all this external stuff is becoming so obscene or so intense or so extreme that we have no other choice than just to go inwards. Because it's like, imagine how much do you have to get beaten by life until you go that, oh my God, I just surrender. And this is something that I've been sharing with my friend, because I said that, well, I remember when I was studying to be a massage therapist and we were massaging the arms, they said, you need to let it go floppy. Otherwise, you can't get in there. You need to just relax it. You need to let it go floppy. You need to relax it. And this is what I feel, there's the second message about, the surrender. Like, it's not about just allow life to just, beat you and, just anyone to do whatever they want to you. Like, no, this is where I feel like the serenity prayer, which I should have written down prior, but, you probably, most of you know what it is. And if you don't, you can Google it very easily. But this is what I feel is now becoming important, to be able to discern, can I change this? Or can I change this? And if I can change it, if I can influence it, what can I do? Then, or if I can't change it, if this is out of my control, like the war, right? If it's out of my control, then how can I not seek and leak energy into this? Like, yeah, I acknowledge it's there. Yeah, I don't like it. It's not comfortable. It's, it bothers me. But how much of my energy do I want to give to it? How much do I want to allow it to take me out of balance, to take my peace away? And yes, and then have the wisdom to be able to discern which one is it. Can I change it or can I not change it? Is it my responsibility or not? Like, our life is our responsibility, but like I said, there are circumstances in life which there is not that much you can do about right now. Like, the way we can help these situations that are out of our control is to raise our frequency, is to do as much work on ourselves and on our life, and to find this peace, to find this center, to be able to tune into ourselves, follow the guidance, and create that which we want to experience, to create the polarity, to create the other side of the scale, which is also what I was talking about yesterday, to create the opposite. So eventually that which we cannot change will be balanced. Yeah. So anyway, so this is, like I said, what I've been experiencing, and I've been really processing it, because I've been really like, oh my God, like, I really don't know what I'm doing with this, like, why is this happening? Why this keeps happening? So I'm like, well, obviously the only constant here is me. So it must be something to do with me, with my energy, because I'm attracting it. So what is it? And then it's so interesting, because I've been having such a, like, intense dreams with my guides, you know, like I don't remember all of it, but literally like every night I like, it's literally like I'm going for a chat with my spirit guides in my dream, you know. I literally feel like, okay, I'm talking to someone or some beings, you know, like not just one, and I am being like guided, I am being mentored, you know, like I don't always remember what it is, but I know a big part of it, the dream I just had last night, big part of it was this, about the self-acceptance, and also about giving to yourself what you need, and you know, and let go of you know, the things that you cannot change and control, and don't beat yourself up about it, and don't try to, you know, swing against the current and stuff like that. Just focus on the things that actually you can do, you can change, you know, and don't allow your joy to be taken away by the circumstances, external circumstances that exist just to help us to understand something, to help us learn something, right? Because it's always, universe will always test us, always. Universe will always test us, because if universe is testing you, then you know you're just about to get to the next level of your evolutionary journey. You're just about to get to the next grade, right? Because that's why there is a test. So anyway, so already half an hour in, so let me just read the first message for you, and then we're gonna go to the next one. Okay, so this was the message that was relating to my pattern, to what's going on in my life, but I really felt guided to share it, because I really feel that even though people probably don't experience the same problems as I have been, you know, like, which, like I said, in comparison with other things are not very significant, but I'm sure there was something that's been showing up for everyone, because it's an eclipse. So everybody would have been feeling it in one way or another, this imbalance or situation, people, circumstances, and patterns that have the ability to take us out of balance. So anyway, so this is, I asked for guidance from my guides, and this is what I received. And this was a message for me, but because we are all connected, I'm sure this is going to be helpful to someone else too. So I asked, what do my guides want to tell me today? And they said, alignment. You are undergoing realignment. Things and aspects of your life up until now are being highlighted so they can be balanced and realigned. Old patterns had been creating your life experience from the unconscious mind point of view. Now these patterns are all becoming illuminated so they can be balanced and realigned. You need to understand why those patterns exist and what role do they play, what needs are being met from the perpetuation of the same pattern, what self-soothing are you trying to give to yourself with things and through behaviors that are no longer satisfactory. What is your soul truly desiring? You need to learn to reconnect and trust that connection. Truly feel it deep, truly feel it deep inside yourself that you are part of something much bigger than you can even imagine, and you will never be forgotten, and you'll always be provided for. You need not to hoard. You need to reconnect. You need not to hoard. You need to reconnect to the substance of your soul. That's where the true nutrition can be found. That's where you satisfy your hunger for more, because the soul is unlimited, just like the source is unlimited. Everything is part of the same. Everything is connected to the one, the all there is. Therefore, that's where all exists. That's where all that you are seeking can be found. You are hungry for love, but you seeking it in places and things that can only provide you with temporary satisfaction. The hunger will temporary satisfaction. The hunger will then quickly return, and the ego is seeking a new thing to satisfy it. However, the choice of feeding is the same, and so is the result. All of these things are to be present in your human experience as a side dish, not the main course. The side dish can be present with your meals. It will give it something extra to color up the plate, to expand the experience, but it will not fulfill you. It will not satiate the hunger. It is not designed or meant to. So what is the main dish? What is the main meal? It's connection, it's love. Without love and connection, the human soul will wither. It needs love and connection more than the air that you breathe. more than anything. That's why the channels, this is for me personally, the channelings that I've been listening, that's why the channels satisfy your hunger much more and for much longer period than the trinkets you buy. The channels touch your soul, the trinkets ornate your avatar. It's a very different experience. Your soul is longing to be more present. You need to dedicate more time and your hunger to your hunger for connection. You need to spend more time in stillness to hear the voices of your guides. You are ready for the next step in your journey. You must dedicate more time to the aspects of your path, of your mission that really matter. That's why you've been so tired. Your soul was waiting for you to connect while you were busy chasing temporary modalities of release. Those are aspects of life to enhance the human experience, but they can only add to your joy where you already joyous. You will not create the joy you seek in because they are not they will not create the joy you are seeking because they are not meant to do that by design. So focus on nurturing your soul and you'll find the joy within. You'll no longer be dependent on the external circumstances, things and people to give you joy or believe that they can take it away. Joy only exists within. All the external aspects and elements of your human experience are only enhancing what is already there or mirror the lack of it. So focus on that which matters, focus on that which needs to be done. Make that your priority and everything else will fall into place on its own. Be disciplined and dedicated and you will quickly see improvements, you will quickly reap the rewards. Monitor how you are feeling and you'll quickly know where you are at with your spiritual nutrition. Give a bit more time to your soul work and less to human entertainment. It will create more balance in your body, mind and soul. Try, test it and you will see. You are learning just as all of you are, but now it's the time to finish these old lessons. You need not to keep retaking the same exam. You're ready for more. Allow yourself to step into the new chapter of your journey. Trust and follow the guidance you're always supported. Just quieten the busy mind and listen for guidance. We love you always. Okay, so this was message for me. However, like I said, I feel that there are probably other people that will resonate with it. And now I'm going to read the message which is designed for the collective that I wrote just before recording this. Okay, so what do my spirit guides want me to share today? Surrender to the process of healing and reconnection that is taking place there on planet Earth right now. It might not look that way on the surface, but trust us, it is happening. The energy is powerfully pushing for this to be taking place. It's necessary so the wholeness can be reestablished, so the evolution of humanity can continue on the path that's desired and move away from the path that's familiar but now became outdated. Lots of patterns of the past conditioning had become illuminated with the eclipse energies, more yet to come because the shifts are happening. The wheel is turning, a new energy is becoming ready to be manifested. Focus on that which is showing up for you, which is taking your attention away from your everyday routine. Something needs you to look at it, something that needs healing. It needs understanding, your acceptance and unconditional love, because no pattern can be changed without being understood. So why would this be present in your life right now? What's the meaning? What's the purpose? What is it serving? Is it empowering or disempowering? Does it feel expansive or restrictive? Where did it come from? Keep digging for answers. When you ask, the answer will come. It might not come in a shape and form you expect it to. It might not even be an answer you like. However, it might just shine a light on a situation, relationship, or a pattern you've been struggling with to help you understand the meaning, to help you understand the reason why. For nothing exists without a reason. There's a purpose and meaning in everything. Universe doesn't ever waste anything. Everything is part of all, and all is part of everything. The divinely orchestrated symphony of life. Tune in and listen. The answer is will always come. The answer will always come. It is a time of reconnecting, and the time of upcoming. Sorry, it is a time of reckoning. It is a time of reckoning and the time of upcoming resurrection. There is no coincidence this is happening now in between the two eclipses. Everything is happening exactly as it's meant. So stop resisting it, wishing it was different. Pay attention to what this is trying to help you understand. Once the meaning and purpose are understood, once the acceptance is present and resistance to what is surrendered, only then a change can take place. Open your mind and feel the currents of energies flowing all around you and inside of you. Everything is alive. Everything is continuously moving, growing, evolving, and changing. Because change is the only constant. Life means change, and change means life. How else would you know you were alive if everything would forever stay the same? The force of change right now can be rather overwhelming. That's why you need to ground and reconnect. The aspects of you that became rejected a long time ago want to be part of you again. That's why they are here. That's why they are making you to pay attention, to be present. Present is a gift, your gift of tomorrow, the potential for the whole you, the potential for oneness and unity to return once again. Pay attention to what's happening to you and your life, for you and in your life. Ask questions and open your mind to answers that might be different from what you expect. The world is changing and so are you. This change is rapid, however, still slow enough to not cause too much distraction, too much vertigo. It's helping you to find a way back home, back to yourself, back to your center. That's where everything can reset and a new experience can be created, taking you back to the 0 point, like the Aries eclipse, taking you back to the beginning. So what do you wish to create? Where do you want to go from here? All the aspects of your reality that are out of balance and out of alignment are being shown to you, are becoming more and more present. Understanding how you got to this point and accepting the role you played in co-creation of that which is now manifested in this present moment can help to shift the energy, to move what got stuck so the flow can return and a new direction can be found. Changes are happening, the wheel of destiny is turning. There's nothing to fear because your soul knows exactly what's happening. Your soul chose this time of change to be incarnated. Your soul is unlimited and has everything and access to everything needed to help you get to where you are meant to go, where you chose to journey prior to incarnating. So pay attention. Life is always showing you. The external is always providing a mirror, a feedback. You can always change what you no longer wish to recreate, but understand the role it played, the need for it to exist, because there was a time it was desired to be here as a part of your journey of growth and evolution. Life is offering you an unlimited potential of what it can be. You'll decide. Your frequency will attract what you will be in resonance with. You can change your frequency at any point. Just tune in and remember, all the answers are already there. You are the universe. You are unlimited, beloved. Believe, trust, and you shall create all you desire, always. Okay, so that was the collective message. So you got 2 for 1 today. And now I'm going to move to the cards, because I think what I said prior to these channeled messages perfectly is an alignment, I would say, with what these messages are saying. And this is why many of us are experiencing things which potentially previously we were just like, oh yeah, I have this problem or that problem, yeah, I have an OCD, I have a shopping addiction, like whatever. We just like put a label on it and just compartmentalize it and like, oh yeah, this is me, this fine, and now all these things that actually are not you, they are not the new you, they are not the new frequency you that you are becoming, they are showing up, and we are trying to like, oh yeah, this is me, this is the label. And now it's like, no, this is no longer resonating, this is no longer going away, just being put into the cupboard and say, oh yeah, this is the label, I file it, right? No, now we have to deal with it. That's why for me, all these old patterns which can take me out of whack, because I want it to be done, I want it to be finished, I want it to be perfect, I want it to be just so I don't have to think about it anymore. But there are things in the world that are not just so, they are not perfect. There are things which, yes, we wish that they weren't even here, that they didn't even exist. Like, why do they have to be here? So that's why we have to understand that, okay, well, everything plays a role. We might not understand it right now, we will not understand it later on when we look back, or whatever it is, but everything's got a purpose and meaning, and therefore I need to be able to accept it. Now, can I change it? If I can change it, okay, let's do something about it. First, I need to accept this here. And if I can't change it, then I'm like, okay, well, I accept this here. There's nothing I can do about it. But now, how can I take my peace back? How can I recreate more balance in my life with this still being there? Because life is not perfect. Life is messy. Things are never going to be fully done, fully over, fully finished and be perfect, because that's Pisces. That's when we go back to spirit. We go, oh yeah, everything is perfect here. We back home. We back part of everything, part of source. But here we feel disconnected because we disconnected from the spirit. That's why we need to reconnect. And that's why all these situations that are becoming more and more overwhelming and unbearable are pushing us back within. That this is where you find it. This is exactly where you find it. This is the tool. This is the next step. The co-creation with the spirit, which is why I feel in these videos that I want to include more and more the spirit, the channeled messages, the cards, I feel like, I want to co-create. I don't want to be just talking on my own, like, even though, most of the things that I'm saying anyway are not just coming from me. But yeah, this is what I feel, that things are shifting, because the old way of self-soothing and sweeping things under the carpet and dealing with the same old problems is just not working anymore. It's not cutting it anymore. It's not going away. It's right there in our face, and we have to do something about it. And that's because we're changing the pattern, and we are moving into the times where this is no longer desired. This kind of disempowerment, where we feel that all these things external of us can just take our peace of mind away. They can just put us in this, chasing our own tail, like, trying to resolve situation that potentially, maybe it's not in your control. And then we just have to learn to accept it and just get on with life. Like, noisy neighbors. Okay, well, I'm in Mexico. Neighbors do what they want here. There is no noise restriction. In Mexico, there is no quiet hours. There is no noise restriction that you have to shut down the music at 10 or 11 or midnight. Those people can do what they want when they want. That's how it is. And this is something that I really admire about people here, that they are free. They are free to be unapologetically who they are, and they do what they want, obviously to a certain extent. But with regards to this. So if you can't change it, how can you learn to live with it? And if you can change it, like for me, well, I can choose to go somewhere different. But every place we ever go, everywhere we ever are, whoever we interact with, nothing will be perfect. Everything will have polarity, because this is the planet where we at, the planet of polarity. This is how we learn. So if we understand that, what are we trying to learn? What are we trying to understand? If we understand that, then we can just go, we can go floppy. We can go floppy. We can just surrender and say like, okay, well, right now, there's not much I can do about this. So let me go and do some inner work. Let me go and sit in meditation. Let me go and find this point of stillness and balance, despite the fact that life is not perfect. Things are not perfect. There are people who are happy. There are people who are not happy. So how can I contribute to world? Well, I need to add to the side of scale that I want to see the more of. Therefore, if there is a lot of suffering in the world, I need to create joy, beauty, happiness. I need to create something that will help to balance these scales. So that's where we at. That's what got illuminated. And now is this new energy, Aries, which is the energy of self-discovery, is the energy of fire. Mars is in Pisces, the fire of co-creation with the spirit. And this is why I feel the way I do about my work right now. I want to include spirit more and more. So anyway, guys, I'm going to talk about these cards. So if you did watch my astrological forecast, I pulled this card yesterday with regards to the theme for this week. It was this man with the heart. And I said that I feel like, oh, that looks like a fall. You know, look at all these leaves. And he's actually sitting on a bed of leaves, fallen leaves, right? So I really feel that is the time of the Libra eclipse, you know, October. So that is it between now, and that's what I was also saying yesterday in my astrological forecast. I don't know what's going to happen between now and, you know, October, or now and December, you know, end of the year, but something will, because it will make us to open our heart, to start perceiving reality differently, to learn to ground, to learn to reconnect with the nature, reconnect with all there is. And also you can see he's wearing black. Black is the unconscious. Black is that which we can't see. Black is the yin energy, the receptive energy we need to learn to receive from the spirit without knowing, without the brain knowing, because what I keep repeating, brain is the archive of the past. It only knows what already happened. Well, now we know we're not going back there. You know, the South Node is in Libra. We're not going back there. Now this new energy that's coming literally this week on 4/4 portal, we are not ever going back there. That's it. There is a brand new cycle that's starting for us. So with this man wearing the black is the yin energy. We need to be open to receive the guidance from the unconscious, from the subconscious, from the, well, unconscious mind, of course, you know, like if we don't know what's happening, then, you know, it can create all these situations that we are not necessarily enjoying. So we can see it and then we can heal it, integrate it and adjust it. But I feel more, it's like is the energy of the high priestess, because you see, like what I was already once sharing, that I always had the assumption that in a yin-yang symbol the white was the female, the black was the male, but it's the other way around. The black is the female is the intuitive, is the night, is that which you can't see, is the high priestess. So that's what I feel. This man, you know, and actually yesterday I said like reconnecting with the divine masculine, but what I meant, my tongue slipped, but I actually felt, you know, is the divine feminine, the reconnecting with the divine feminine, but it's obviously both, because we both have aspects of those, because, you know, the world is in balance. It's not just, you know, like, oh yeah, the women were suppressed, and I mean, that is part of it, but also the men, they also like lost the connection, you know. It's like we all part of it, and we all been everything, we all were both sexes, and, you know, all the rest of it, you know, we all played all the roles, right, through all these different lifetimes. So yeah, so I really feel that, you know, like, because it's the man with the heart, you know, the message said that there is a new love, a new energy, a new relational paradigm. And whatever is going to happen between now and October, between the Libra new moon solar eclipse on October 2nd, you know, there is autumn, the fallen leaves, there is the heart. It's going to open our heart, and we'll know that that's the only way forward, to be in a receptive state, to start seeing world from the place of heart. So yeah, there are, like, I'm sure there are many, many more things we can go into, you know, with regards to the message, but, you know, I really felt that was important to mention. The other aspect was at the bottom of the deck yesterday is an angel of love. Look, if I turn it, it was reversed, but when I turn it the upright way, it's an angel holding heart. There is a human holding heart. So you have the higher self and the human self. You know, again, polarity. Look, the male and the female. We are both. We are both. There is the number 9, 4 and 5. Number 9, the closing, the ending. Here is the 4 and 9. That's 13. That's the number 4. The stability and the security. But it's interesting that both of them have the number 4, which is the Saturn, the stability, and then number 9 and number 5. Number 5 is the number of change. Number 9 is the closing, right? And here is the number 9 where we add the two numbers together, and this is number 13, which comes to number 4. or 1 and 3. 1 is a new beginning, 3 is the Jupiter expansion. What are we learning? So you can see this angel, you know, like this man, he is sitting in a fall leaves. She's got the flowers of the spring and the flowers of the summer. So again, you know, and she was reversed. This angel was reversed. The heart is like pink purple. It's like the higher heart, the heart chakra. Also the purple, the connection with the crown, you know, like the intuition. So anyway, so I'm gonna read a message about the angel is because it's very profound. And then there was another card which was right underneath the angel, which again I felt needs to be included, and I'm gonna share it in a moment. But I just wanted to say how profound is here. This, you have the angel, the female angel that is holding the heart, and then you have the human male that holding the heart, that is opening the heart to his feminine nature, to the divine feminine, man holding the heart, an angel holding the heart, but it was reverse. So let's see what the card has to say when it's a reverse. And it says the card angel of love, it's a tender connection. So reversed, in the reverse position, the angel of love could indicate a possible disconnect in matters of the heart. While this sometimes signifies a divorce or separation, it could also imply an emotional rift between two people stay connected on a superficial basis, yet at a deeper level seem to be going their own ways. In this position, the angel can also refer to an old separation if the longing remains alive in one partner's heart. If you find yourself unable to let go, this loving angel is telling you it's time to release any toxic or unrequited attachments you might be holding on to. The universe is waiting for you to free your heart and open your life to the fully present and honoring love that you so rightly deserve. So look in the mirror and see the angel of love there with you. Know that you are worthy of this tender emotion from yourself and others. An affirmation: I love and value myself without limitation or condition. Tender loving treatment comes to me in wonderful and unexpected ways. Okay, so there are two ways I'm looking at this. So obviously, because this card was reversed, so it's like this, you know, imagine that. Look, if you reverse it, the angel is actually looking at the man. Otherwise, the angel is looking away. This way, she's looking at the man, yeah? So what I'm feeling about this card, what was my initial response, was how we are disconnected from our higher self. You know, we connected to all these, like the examples I just shared. You know, I don't have any people around me, so what do? To self-soothe, I go and buy a trinket to make myself feel better, which is substituting for the real connection, right? And then how many of us do that? We go and buy something to ourselves, or we go and, you know, check out, do something to take our mind off, where what we really seeking is a connection. We want love, we want acceptance, we want all that. So we just go and distract ourselves. We have relationships with all these things rather, or like even people, right? Even like when, because like the core message of this is obviously self-love, like we have connections with relationships with all the things, patterns, people, behaviors that are meant to substitute for this void, you know, to fill this void that is within us, which is really the reconnection with the soul, with the higher self, with your higher self, with your heart, which is what I keep saying. We are entering the age of Aquarius. The human 2.0 means where the soul wants to be present. That was in one of the previous messages that I read, the channeled messages, which is the marriage of the human soul and the soul, the human self and the higher self, the human and the higher version of yourself, the soul self. That is the most important relationship you will ever have. So how many of us give power away to things, people, circumstances, addictions, behaviors, you know, whatever, because we're trying to fill that void in our heart. Why? Because we feel disconnected. And then, of course, that is keeping us disconnected from one another, because most of us feel that way. We feel alone, we feel disconnected, then we attract all these people into our life, which is why I am single, because that's the kind of people I was attracting into my life. People who were emotionally unavailable, people who were disconnected. So then I decided that, okay, you know, until I resolve my stuff, I am just going to take a break from relationships, because I need to find out, I need to get to the core of this, like why this keeps happening again, why these patterns keep perpetuating, the same kind of energy coming from my relationships. Because it's the same thing, because this is the core message of everything. In this life, your life is about you. You are the sun of your life. You are the center of the life, not from the selfish way or narcissistic way, but from the way of your soul's journey. You are the center point of your life, because everything that you are experiencing in this world is to help you to learn about yourself and to grow and evolve. And through the grow and evolve, you will understand the connection to everything, because the more we grow and evolve and we connect to ourselves, the more we connect to everything, because everything is connected. The more we will then feel the desire to reconnect with the external and to help. Right? Because like majority of people who have gone through difficult situation in their life, and then they heal them, they heal themselves, they overcome the trauma or the wounding or whatever it was that took place in their life, they want to write a book about it, or make a course or seminars or webinars to help others. That's the thing. When people get to that stage of their healing journey, they want to help others. They want other people to also heal. They don't want to just go and hide and keep it all to themselves, like, yeah, I'm healed, I don't care now. No, because that is the symptom of trauma. That is a symptom of separation, because a healed individual will always want to connect, but it starts from within. First and foremost, we have to reconnect with oneself, which is what I've been sharing this entire 6 months, that I've been doing through this inner child healing. There are all these patterns, showing up for me through my external environments, where I'm disconnected from myself, where I'm trying to escape, where I'm trying to self-soothe with things to replace that which actually is the most important, which is the connection with me, which is what I actually need to sit down with and take time for, and and just do it, right? This is what the message also said. Just, what needs to be done, just do it, just stop procrastinating already. So this is like, yes, it's about connection to one another, but first, because as a world we are disconnected, we want to connect, we don't want any more division, we want to connect, but first we need to connect with ourselves, because that's where it all begins. Everything is about you. That is the most important relationship in our life, the angel of love. It's bringing a new love, it's bringing a new relational paradigm, same as this man opening up to love. Opening up to love. The heart is open, the heart is there. Look at all that light, So right now, being in the spring, things are like this, upside down, we feel disconnected. There's all that potential, all that light, all that frequency of, angels and all the flowers in our head. Again, the nature is unlimited. But the angel is like looking at the heart, nobody wants it. There was this song when I was a teenager, gosh, I don't know how it was called. I was literally like, this is a long time ago, in like, I don't even know if it was 2000 yet. I was a teenager. There was this song, Another Day, or I don't know what it was called. It was from some person that had like a Spanish, like Latino sounded name. I seriously don't remember. But I know in the video clip of it, there was this girl and she was carrying this huge heart. And when the guy saw it, he was like running away, like, and then she would get all depressed. And the sadder she got, the smaller the heart. The smaller the heart. And then when her heart got very small and she was just carrying it in her pocket, then, she met another guy, and then she like fell in love, and then her heart got bigger, it expanded, and then the guy saw the heart, she was carrying, and then he wasn't hiding, like, oh, what is this, So that's so funny, because like it reminds me of this, angel, because she's holding the heart. She has all this love to give, but it's like nobody wants it. Nobody wants it because people feel disconnected. They don't feel it's there. They're looking for it in all these different places. They're not looking within. They're looking outside, and that's why we keep attracting people. Until we heal, at least to a certain extent, we will keep attracting people who are also unhealed, and we will just keep projecting this stuff onto each other, because they are trying to help us to find a way back to ourselves in a way that doesn't make sense, right? Like, oh yeah, I attract people who will like belittle me, abuse me, disrespect me. How is this helping me to heal, right? Well, there is a meaning in that madness, even though it sounds like it makes no sense, but that's exactly how it is. Because how many times do we have to be pushed to the floor until we go, okay, something needs to change, and this is like why people eventually get sick, You know, if they don't leave this dysfunctional relationship, if they don't change the dysfunctional patterns, if they don't love and respect themselves, people usually get sick, because that is like the last call, you know, because physical manifestation of disease is the last stage. You know, that's what we learn in Ayurveda. Is the result of all this energetical spiritual imbalance. So by the time people get to that point, it's literally the body like saying like, okay, I'm not going any further with this. You know, I gave you all these signs, I gave you all these, you know, like headaches and stomach aches and, you know, whatever, you know, stress and nervousness. You didn't listen. So now we need to stop. So this is why people get sick. It's much more to do with that than with genetics. There is very small percentage of people that actually get sick because of genetics. Majority of that is this emotional and spiritual imbalance and disconnection from ourselves. So anyway, so you know, that's why I had to bring out this card, because it's perfect. So between now and then, now when we feel this way and the fall, when the heart will be open, I don't know what will take place, but it will open the heart, because we need to get from here to here, right? And the two are one. The higher self and the human self connected. And here we go. That was the card beyond that, below that. Door to spirit. That is the way. Door to spirit. Look, there is a dove. Door to spirit. Innocence. And that was another thing, you know, I felt like, you know, this guy blonde, you know, youthful, innocence. He's starting from fresh. New moon in Aries, innocence. And this is a card 32, another 5, change, because we need to return back to innocence. We need to return back to spirit, because this is where we at, evolutionary. There is no going backwards, there is only going forward, and the forward is returning to this. Spiritual awakenings and new beginnings. So that's this card that is behind these two. That's what's really happening. This is happening. This door opens to the expansive energetic realm where all new beginnings originate. The orbs of lights are guiding you through the clouds of the earthly world, leading you to a deeper understanding of your eternal identity, the source of all true value and power. This door opens onto truly unlimited potential, for the changes that happen here reach into the core of your being. As such, this card often heralds your increasing powers in the spiritual art and deepening connection with the spiritual world. With the spirit world. Don't be surprised if you find yourself becoming more intuitive, more aware of spirit's presence, and more powerful in your own healing practices. Now is the time to open up to unexpected guidance and inspiration of spirit, and to the magic and power of your true identity. An affirmation: I relax and connect with my spirit's wisdom and power. I live in peace that my spirit beings I live in the peace that my spirit brings, and know that the world of spirit supports me. Here we go. This is where we go in. The spirit is coming through. It's coming through. The door is wide open. It's happening. It's happening. Ready or not, it's happening. And okay, we approaching 1 hour, 10 minutes. So let's quickly pull card from the other deck. Just one card, and then that's it. Okay, this is the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds, I think, from Lucy Cavendish. I will put in the description. Okay, one more message from the Hidden Worlds for the collective. One more message with regards to all of this. Okay, there is one. Oh my God, another temple of dreams. And yesterday I told you when I was shuffling, there was a path to temple from the other deck. Temple of Dreams, 36, again number 9. Sacred dreams, prophecies, and dream journeys. Look at that, how beautiful is that. All that water, temple, we have a crescent of the moon. Hammock. Yeah, chilling over there. Yeah. Tea, book, you know, all the learning. It's all the potential, but we need to get through the water, right? To get to the temple, we need to get through the water. We need to get through the emotions and the intuition. Is a card similar to the one me and my soul sister Marisa pulled out in our Stars and Cards last week. You can check it out. Yeah, it was something similar. To get to where we want to go, we need to feel all the emotions. Yeah, you can have a break and take a cup of tea and have a little nap. But then at the end of the day, You know, there is all the support available. Look, the boat is available to take you exactly where you need to go. Exactly where you need to go. Right? Okay, let's see what this card has to say. And then that's it. Then let's close with that. 36. Temple of Dreams, sacred dreams, prophecies, dream journeys. There are holy places in the hidden worlds where dreams are created, libraries where dreams that are necessary to be dreamt are stored. They are written in codes of light, woven into energy field, then sent through portals and vortexes into the world of the humans and delivered to the beings who are most open to receiving them. This we do with ideas and creations and more often dreams. We create these dreams to inspire you, to offer you the very greatest moments of possibility, to send to you memories of other lives, to share preludes of the lives to come, to convey the connections that are between all of us and all of you. Your dreaming life is another life, not simply a place where you go through your day or work or rehearse your life. This takes place, it is true, but the dreams of the spirit will come to you, written by the scribes of the priestess and the gods and all the divine ones in these temples of dreams. You will now recognize that the dreams you felt were only dreams and not real enough to possibly hold the significance you thought they might contain. So that's what you thought, but they are, dear soul, real. These are sent to you, they now belong to you, and they contain codes, energies, messages, truth that can open you up until you feel wisdom breathing through your every cell. We will write the dreams your soul most needs. We will continue to send them to you, and if you ask us, we will send you the dreams you need to change your life. Illumination. Dreaming is my spirit study. The visions I receive are the text my soul has taken from the libraries of the hidden worlds. Okay, guys, that's it. We are almost at 11:11, so I'm gonna try to catch that. So this is what we are co-creating. So dream your dreams and create the reality you wish to experience. Okay, much love, everyone. I hope that this was helpful, and I'll speak to you again soon. Bye, everyone. Bye for now.